Hello, hope you're doing well. This is my April planner update. I feel like I don't have anything too interesting to share this time, but April was kind of a blur for me, so maybe we will come up with something. All right, first up is my reading journal, and in the month of April, I didn't finish any books. However, I finished a book on May 1st, so it's close enough. And it's actually pretty interesting because, let me zoom you in. Right, so around November of 2024, I started Take My Hand, and I think I read maybe 20% of it. And it's not that I lost interest, but I just put it down and never really picked it back up. However, during my trip to Los Angeles, I read part of it on my flight, just on my Kobo e-reader, and it just got me hooked in again. So like 5-ish months later, I ended up coming back to this and finishing the book, which is pretty much unheard of in my lifespan. Once I put away a book, I rarely come back to it and get back into the story. So yeah, this was a really good book. I gave it 4 stars, and I haven't finished writing my thoughts about it, but this is just what I have so far. Okay, and then I am still reading the book of Disquiet. This is written with the Forgotten Iced Coffee ink, my collaboration ink with Esterbrook, and it is written with a medium nib. However, I will tell you the story behind this later, but for a number of reasons, I no longer had my pen inked up with Forgotten Iced Coffee. So towards the bottom, this is written with Coffee Monster, my collaboration with Robert Oster, and TWSBI Extra Fine, medium extra fine. So yeah, I think I will aim to finish this in May. And then I'm also starting Stoner by, is it John William? Something like that. I'm actually pretty proud of myself for staying somewhat consistent with reading despite my busy few months. Okay, then I have my Commonplace journal. This is my Leuchtturm B6, and I don't think I wrote too much in here. I did add, or rather started using, the table of contents. I'm not doing any color coding, and I'm also not writing every subject in here on the table of contents. I'm only writing down things that I feel like I might want to come back to in the future. So that's why I wrote notable things. This is an article from Scientific American about a shape, and this was my awful attempt at drawing the shape. And a lot of people on Instagram thought this was a onesie, which I can see where you're getting that from. Okay, and then these I already showed last time. This was my thoughts about having children. I haven't done my philosophy readings in quite a while, so I did 2 entries yesterday from the Enchiridion, and that is literally all I have for my Commonplace notebook. My goal this month is to read 2 articles every week, so hopefully I can populate that notebook a little bit more. Then I have my Hobonichi Weeks, which is my health and fitness journal. I haven't finished updating April yet, but this is a pretty good overview. And I think I mentioned this last time, but I drew these bars to indicate when I am traveling so that I can kind of see when I'm out of routine. And obviously my steps and workouts are going to be a little bit different. I still have to draw the bars for May because I'm going to London. Very, very exciting. Not too much to say. This is my running, my workouts, a little highlight or multiple for each day, my habits, and then this week's section and things that are on sale at the grocery store. This is a really funky color palette. All right, so this is when I was in LA, so you can see that I marked in my travels, and it was for the Esterbrook collaboration, so I used those stickers. And then for the habit tracker, the top one is a money sign to mark in my no spend, and I basically, bought something every day. So I wrote, I was in LA. Okay, this was the next week. I wrote "Take It Easy" in reference to mostly to my workouts because I felt a little bit out of shape after a few weeks of not consistently going. And then this week I started something exciting, but then I canceled it after 2 weeks. There's this like service called Odd Bunch, and they basically take, I think, slightly imperfect or just like produce that would have gone to waste from distributors. They put it together in like a discounted box, and it's like a weekly subscription. So I started one this week. That's everything that I got. Oh, for the next week I doodled it in my Hobonichi Cousin. But yeah, I canceled it after 2 weeks just because it was making me a little bit stressful, like trying to use up everything. So I think I prefer being in control of my produce. This week I doodled some flowers and I messed up over here, so that is why I brought in these like little bird stickers to cover it up. I think it turned out pretty cute. And then this is this current week, which I haven't really updated. It is already Saturday, but I will update it later. So that is all I have for my Hobonichi Weeks. Still loving it, and this is probably like the longest I've been consistent with the Hobonichi Weeks. Then we have the Hobonichi Cousin. This is the April monthly spread, and I used the new quarter sticker. Super shiny. Whoops. Okay. I don't know where to put this. I'll just put it over here. The theme for May is farmer's market, and let's see, I designed this like around September or October of last year, so I've been waiting like 6 to 7 months to use this kit. I just love the colors so much, like the burnt orange, the little random pops of purple, and yeah, like look at this color palette. I love it. Anyways, I said May would be a rather quiet month, but I don't know. Judging by the monthly overview, it doesn't look very quiet. Should be a fun one though, because I will be going to London. All right, then for the weekly pages, this one matches the Hobonichi Weeks. Again, I love this funky color palette, and I think I was just really busy this week, so as you can see, I wasn't really keeping up with my reading, and honestly, I can't recall what I did today. It was kind of a blur. This was my week in LA, and when I think of Los Angeles, I think of cotton candy colors like pinks, light blues, purples, stuff like that. So I kind of just layered a bunch of light pink, blue, purple washi tapes, and I think it looks really magical. This one also matches the Hobonichi Weeks. Oh yes, I did a plan with me on this one, and still I wasn't really keeping up with the reading because I was just in catch-up mode after all of the traveling. This one, I love it. I used the Q2 subscription washi tape, and I believe I called this Antiques from the Attic, maybe? And I think this is the first time maybe that I used like hand-painted little illustrations from my sketchbook on a washi tape. And I think this works really well, honestly, for spring, summer, and autumn. So pretty versatile washi. Also, you can see that I did a little bit of color coding. This is one of my new favorite ink colors by Jiroban, and I had a lot of people asking me if this is my perfect yellow, which I have been on the hunt for, and it is not my perfect yellow. I bought it fully knowing that it would be like too orange and gold leaning. I bought it just because I love the color. I got it from Atlas Stationers when I was in Chicago, and basically everything that's personal, I wrote it with this golden yellow color, and then all of my work stuff is just in black. I really like this color coding look. This is this week, and I did something a little bit different. These are vertical washi tapes, and apart from like just time blocking, I wanted to find different ways of using it, so I did this kind of framing situation, and I think I do like how it looks. Okay, moving on to the daily pages. I walked for 1.5 hours only to realize that I didn't have my Fitbit on. The funny thing is, this exact same thing happened like a week ago. So yeah, it's a common recurrence. I also drew this a long to-do list. Here we have the Q2 subscription washi tapes. Oh, I love this doodle so much. Again, it was a very busy few weeks, and just like at the worst possible time, my computer just crashed. Using more of the Q2 washi tapes. This is a very elegant scream. And then more screaming. Oh my gosh, why is there so much screaming? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yes, this was the launch of the Esterbrook collaboration, so that's why I didn't really have a to-do list. All I did was just reply to emails, social media comments, and managing the launch. It was a very hectic and nerve-wracking day for me, hence this doodle. You will see this later on as well. I basically took some craft paper packaging, ripped it up, and I used a white Posca, what is it called? Posca marker or something, and I wrote it on top. It's like a white paint marker. Oh yes, also throughout April, my mom just kept getting fevers. Actually, not even throughout April, just like early 2025. She's gotten sick quite a few times, so I have been quite worried. This is a funny story. This guy saying, "Excuse me, is that for scoliosis?" So basically, nowadays when I run, I wear like a running vest so I can store my keys, my phone, and if I need like energy gels or something. And after my run, I went to the grocery store and I was looking at eggs. This middle-aged man came up to me and he was like, you know that like vest you're wearing, is that for scoliosis? I told him no, it's for running, and he was very apologetic, but I thought it was the funniest thing ever. Okay, so this was the day before I left for Los Angeles, and I did another Dutch store sort of thing. So for my trip to Chicago, where is it? Yeah, I made the Dutch store this way, so the top heading is consistent. And I don't know, I think I don't really like the almost square look. So for Los Angeles, I decided to cut off the side, and this was actually a lot easier because I didn't have to like rip out the threaded part, you know? And yeah, I really like this skinnier vertical look, and the sides are the consistent headers. My trip to Los Angeles. Also, I used the same craft paper packaging from here. A lot of people thought these were stickers, which I was very flattered by, but no, it's just craft paper that I ripped up. And then these tiny little washi stickers are these ones from my store. Again, I was worried because my mom got a fever like right before I left, and for a second I considered canceling, but yeah. Anyways, yes, I flew from YVR to LAX, got stuck on the 405, which I thought it was notable. And then for dinner that night, we went to Erewhon, which I feel like is a classic LA thing. And then this was the day of the Esterbrook collaboration event at Flax Pen to Paper, and it was an awesome event. So I wrote best day ever. We went to Ministry of Coffee, and here again I wrote it was like, again, the best day ever, except at the back of my mind I was worried about my mom the entire day. So yeah. Okay, and then we went to the Getty the next day. I suppose this is where I can talk about the reverse architect grind that I got from Gina. So I know it's kind of I don't think it's selfish, I don't know, but I'm keeping 2 of my pens for myself. So this one is an extra fine, and this is inked up with the golden yellow color that I was talking about earlier. So this is more for regular writing. And then this one used to be a medium from the demo video that I did and stuff. This is a pen that I had. I wanted to get it especially ground by Gina into a reverse architect. With the reverse architect, writing normally gives you the extra fine. I requested for Gina to do an extra fine, but then you turn it around and you get this cool architect grind. So the downstrokes are thick like that, and then the horizontal strokes are thin. So you can do some cool fonts with it. And I have been loving this especially for signing cards on orders, because I use the reverse architect, like the thicker one, to write my customer's name, and then I use the normal extra fine side to write my thank you note, and it's just really cool. So this is a very special pen, apart from the fact that it is mine. And the story behind why I stopped using Forgotten Iced Coffee to write is because I told Gina that I already had it inked up, but they forgot and they dipped it into, I think, like a bright blue. So it turned into this like kind of blue-gray, which is actually really cool. So yeah, that's why it's no longer Forgotten Iced Coffee. Okay, anyways, furthermore, on Thursday we went to Earth Cafe. We also went to the Santa Monica beach, and I had goop for dinner. I also had Din Tai Fung for dinner, which I didn't enjoy very much, so I got hungry in the evening and I ordered more food. This was my last day in Los Angeles, LAX to YVR. We went to Koreatown and just had some little bites. And I think that's it for Los Angeles. It was a really good trip. This was definitely a hectic day. Overslept and basically just catching up on work. I don't really like these few spreads. I just wasn't feeling too creative. And on this day, I spent a lot of time just doing quality checks of the fountain pens. So it was tedious work and I didn't really do much else. Too busy for a to-do list. One thing after another. Yeah, we ran into a lot of bad luck with like production delays and stuff, kind of all at once. So it has been a stressful few weeks. Works in the stationery industry, but somehow cannot find a pen and paper for a meeting. This was, I think, the first day of early voting for the Canadian election, so I just went on this day. A little grocery list, and this one looks very crazy. I met up with some planner friends and we all brought our pen collections and different ink samples. So this is what happened here, where we just like swatched a bunch of things. Obviously not curated and aesthetically pleasing, but I feel like these sort of things are just so special and I love having it in my planner. And then this was from my daily journaling video, which I posted last week. Very warm colors. This was the upside down entry. This was the Odd Bunch delivery, which I canceled after that. And then again, I forgot to wear my Fitbit. And then this was Sophia's birthday, my assistant. If you have emailed us a few times, you might get a reply from her. And then these are little doodles that I made of my nephew. My sister definitely got lucky because Luca loves cleaning and like putting things away, and that is him holding a mop. I was packing some orders and then I was trying to perfect a kale chips recipe. I had these kale chips at Erewhon when I was in LA and it tasted so good and I was craving it, and I have been trying to make my own. This was the Canadian election day, which I almost forgot about because again, I did advance voting and yeah, I just forgot. But I tuned in while eating dinner, and that is my emotional support potato on a fork. Last 2 pages of April. I was really going through it the past week and a half-ish. I think I'm slowly crawling out of my little rut sort of thing. But yeah, on this day, I just didn't feel like writing at all. However, that's fine. I just put down a sticker and I wrote not today, and technically I did journal on this day, just wasn't a full spread. but the next day I just kept going. Yeah, we did subscription signups, renewals, and then signups, which is always a very hectic time in terms of emails. So that's basically what I've been doing the past few days. Okay, I will quickly go over the back. I keep forgetting in my update videos. This is my fruits and veggies tracker, which is starting to fill up. So I will probably need the next page as well. Maybe the next 2 pages too. And then this is my empties tracker. I don't know the correct way of saying this. La Roche-Posay. This is a cleanser which I've been using for forever, and I finally finished it. And then I also finished a bottle of apple cider vinegar. Okay, and then this is my planner weight tracker, which my planner only gained 5 grams in the month of April, and my theory is that, there we go, pages that I cut out here, and I also didn't paste in anything too heavy this month, as opposed to March where I pasted in like this like tea bag and stuff. So yeah, not a big gain, but that's okay. All right, I think that is all I have for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and next month should also be an exciting one because I will be traveling to the UK. I don't know, I've never been to the continent of Europe and I'm very nervous. Not because it's Europe, but because, like, you know, it's a new setting for me and I don't know how to act, but we'll see how that goes. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, week, month, and take care. Bye.